Welcome to Digital Marketing Domination, the go-to podcast for digital marketers. Each week, we dive into proven digital marketing tactics, cutting-edge tools, and real-world case studies that help you dominate your market. This is your playbook for digital success.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Digital Deep Dive. Today we're going to explore one of the most powerful tools you can use to boost your marketing results. That's truly understanding your customer journey mapping. This customer journey is simply the path that your audience takes from the moment they first discover your brand to becoming a loyal repeat client. And here's the thing, when you understand that journey and intentionally design it, every single interaction becomes purposeful and moves people closer down to the conversion. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to break it up into 5 key steps. The first one is to define the stages. You have to know where your client is in the stage. We're going to talk about the awareness, the consideration, the decision, and the loyalty stage. Knowing where those clients are in the process helps you deliver the right message at the right time. Number 2, identifying those touch points. Every place a customer interacts with your brand, from ads to blog posts to email and in-person visits, you have to identify those touch points and have the right strategy in place to truly hit them in their customer journey. Number 3, how you utilize data for personalization. A lot of times people will map out that customer journey, but they're not utilizing the data for personalization. So how do you leverage behavioral data, demographic data, purchase data, so that every customer feels like they're getting a tailored experience to them? Number 4, a lot of this is a lot of work. The beautiful thing is you can integrate it with automation tools. How to use platforms out there that can help streamline those interactions. And then number 5, once you have this customer journey mapped out, you have your channels, you're using data to be able to map this correctly. How do we continually optimize and improve? So tracking performance so you can keep on refining that journey over the time. Think of it like planning a road trip. You choose the route, you plan your stops, you customize the experience for your passengers, and you keep adjusting based off of what's working best. Done right, journey mapping transforms one-time interactions into long-term relationships. Let's dive in. So when we talk about digital marketing, it's so important to hit your customers or your potential customers at different points in their journey. And a lot of marketers and a lot of clients struggle at this. They're doing a paid search strategy over here, they're doing a video strategy over here, they're doing a social strategy over here. And they're truly not doing an omnichannel marketing campaign that follows that customer through the stages of their journey. So the first thing you have to do, and I'm going to break this up into 5 pieces, is you have to define the stages of the journey. So the customer journey typically follows kind of 4 main stages. So at the top is your awareness. Then you have your consideration, then you have your decision, and then you have your loyalty. So clearly defining these stages helps ensure that you can tailor your marketing strategies and content to meet your customers where their decision-making process is. So let's start at the top. We have awareness. This is really where your potential customers first discover your brand. It could be through a social ad. It could be through PR. It could be a friend talking to them, a little bit of word of mouth. At this stage, we should be educating the customer, sparking interest, with not overly promoting. A lot of times clients make the mistake where they're trying to sell at this stage, and that's not the right time to do this. Then the next stage down is your consideration stage. This is where customers are now starting to evaluate their options, including your product or your service that you offer. They may start comparing features and prices and reviews. This is to provide the time to provide detailed, persuasive information like case studies, webinars, or comparison guides. Clients that do a really good job of this on the B2B side this is their opportunity to present themselves as the expert and maybe in the product or solution that you're selling. On the B2C side, this is your opportunity to really start giving information and being a source of information. So in the automotive sector, that would be maybe doing comparisons of different models or different makes and why your brand is potentially better than another brand, giving that information. The next stage is the decision stage. The customer is ready to make a purchase. They're looking at maybe offers and trials, and you're trying to give them some type of hook or a limited discount to help them close the deal. So the customer's already decided, or the potential client has already decided, hey, I'm in need of the product and service that you're offering. So now it's your opportunity to get them to make that decision, pass them across the goal line. So in automotive, that's something that's already decided that they want a 2025 Toyota Camry. Now they're just trying to decide, what dealership am I going to buy it from? I know I'm going to buy one, but I get to choose from 2 or 3 different people. So winning them through the decision. And then last but not least is the loyalty. So a lot of times people think the funnel stops at the time of sale. But what we want to do is we want to create fanatics. So we want to build loyalty. So after the purchase, the focus on your marketing strategy should be building that long-term relationship. That's where loyalty programs come in. That's where customer communication comes in. That's where personalized offers can start to come in. So we're trying to get those brand advocates so you can get repeat and referral business. So number 2, in terms of the funnel, is identifying key touch points and channels. Touch points are the moment when a customer interacts with your brand, whether directly or indirectly. These points are critical for creating a seamless and consistent journey. That's key, creating a seamless and consistent journey. So let's talk about that. How can you do that? So let's start with digital ads. Your paid search, is it consistent and is it seamless? Your display ads, your social media ads. Do all of those work together? What about your own content? Your blog posts, your landing pages, and your newsletters, or your earned media like your press coverage, your reviews, and your influencer mentions. Or your direct, that could be your sales calls, your customer service inquiries, or your in-store visits. You want to map out all of these channels to help ensure that your customer experience is a cohesive message no matter where and how they interact with your brand and your business. Now, once you've mapped out those 2 parts, now we want to use data to personalize the journey. So personalization is key in marketing. It's a way that you can increase engagement and conversation rates. By leveraging customer data, you can deliver relevant and timely content at each stage of that journey. So how do you do this? So if I am doing a paid search strategy with a display advertising campaign and maybe a social media campaign in OTT, how can I use data to personalize this? Well, you can look at behavioral data. So I can track website visits, I can track clicks, video views, and form submissions to tailor my follow-up message. We had a client that sold hot sauces. It's one of the fastest growing hot sauce brands in the United States. And we had a series of video ads that first started off as a very soft message, very lighthearted, and people that watched over 15 seconds of that ad got another ad that corresponded with that ad. So what we're trying to do, as we talked about the stages of the funnel earlier, we're trying to move that client down the stages of the funnel to get to the consideration and then, of course, the loyalty side. So use the data that's at your fingertips. Look at what people are searching. Look if they've interacted with your ad. If they've gone on your website, what type of ad you're going to be able to send to them once they get off. All of this is using your data at your fingertips. You can use demographic data, use information like location, age, job title. You can segment your audiences. If you're using offline data, how you segment that data is critical to be able to send online relevant messaging. Then you can look at engagement patterns. Send reminders or offers when activity levels drop. So dynamic content tools allow for this personalized website experiences like email ads and adapt based on individual users' behavior. So when someone goes on your website, as an example, how they interact with your website should be how you're going to be retargeting them online, as well as what email triggers you're going to be sending to that client or customer. So think about how all that kind of goes together. Number 4 is, how do you integrate these automating tools? Automation ensures consistency. You obviously can't do all this manually. So what's most important is you set up your funnel and talk about what are the interactions that you're going to use to be able to hit these people. So as an example, platforms like HubSpot, Marketo, these are platforms that can help you streamline that communication. So if it's on email, when somebody clicks an email, what is the email that they receive afterwards? If they're not engaging with your emails, what emails are they getting, and to be able to pull you back into the funnel? We want to automate the welcome series for a new lead. When you get a new lead, what does that funnel look like? Triggering your personalized follow-ups based off of behavior. You can score leads across and notify the sales teams based off of someone when they're going to each phase of that funnel. And then last but not least, in your optimization journey in terms of customer mapping, you should constantly be measuring and optimizing continuously. Measurement is essential to improving the customer journey. Tracking all performance so that you understand what's working and what's not working. One of the biggest mistakes that clients make is they set up these perfect customer journeys, or what they feel like is this perfect customer journey, in a drip sequence for email, or maybe a video series that interacts with display advertising, and they don't touch it again for another year. Look at where your drop-offs are going. Are your conversions rates going up or going down? What do your conversion rates look like from one stage to the next? What's your engagement rates look like? Are your email open rates going up or are they going down? Are your click-through rates on your emails going up or are they going down? Calculate your customer lifetime value. What is the total worth of a customer over the relationship of your brand? That's one thing that a lot of clients struggle with, is understanding that a lot of this marketing that you're setting up, one client could pay for this whole journey. And then look at your churn rate. If you're losing customers, why is it? Is it product or is it support? If it's support, how can we automate some of that support to get in front of that so we reduce that churn rate? So we want to be able to optimize. Optimize is a continuous ongoing process. It's not a one-time project. So here's the big takeaway. Customer journey mapping isn't about documenting what's already happening. It's about designing an intentional experience that guides customers smoothly from point A to point B while building trust and loyalty along the way. When you clearly define your stages, you identify the right touch points, you personalize with data, and you automate where possible and continually measure your results and improve, you create a marketing system that doesn't just drive sales, it builds lasting relationships. And in today's competitive market, that's the difference between brands that survive and brands that thrive.
If you're looking to elevate your marketing strategy, then J&L Marketing is here to help. With our proven process, we kickstart your online analysis, build tailored campaigns, and provide personalized weekly updates to ensure your marketing goals are met.